Hey guys, Cruiseman here, and today I'm going to reinstall the lower, it's the exhaust cover. In part one we removed these, we took all the rubber pieces off, we sanded it, primed it, did a little body work. We had a lot of big dings right here from rocks that had come up. We had a lot of scratches along here, as you can see now. The piece looks almost brand new. It's been painted with 3 coats of paint, metallic paint. It was wet sanded. We shot 3 coats of clear. Again, wet sanded, polished it out, buffed it out, and I mean, the clear coat, it just, you know, this is much better than stock. They don't go to that trouble. So now we're going to reinstall this, and I'm going to you've got these. I'm not going to put the belly pan on right now. I want to stop for a second and let you know. I'm going to do that in a later video where we'll show how to put on the Tulsa belly pan, because that's a good video in and of itself for people who just bought a new bike. But anyway, I'm going to get to work on this. What's involved, for those of you that have never done this, there are a couple of little receivers back here for little rubber tabs to fit in, and so there's another one up here on top, so you have to push this in back and then pull it up, and that kind of holds it in place and lets you put in the mounting bolt. So I'm going to go through that process right now. Okay, before we actually mount this cover to the bike, we have to reinstall the cable that's used to open and close the foot warmer door on this cover. And so that's a fairly easy process. There's just one little nut that holds this down to this bracket here, and the cable fits in here. I'll show you how we do that. Okay, we've got the cowl back on, or I should say the exhaust cover back on, and man, I gotta tell you, this thing looks better than new. This is absolutely, I am so happy with how it turned out. I'm happy with the paint, I'm happy with the polishing, I'm just happy with the whole deal, and I think you'll see, you know, when you look at this, even from underneath the bike, you know, it doesn't look like it's ever been ridden. Plus, if you go back here, you see the brand new chrome piece from Honda. I had some rock dings and chips in the old one. I replaced it with a brand new chrome piece. So, you know, whoever buys this bike is really getting an amazing piece of equipment that's just been really restored very nicely. Almost, you know, almost looks like it came off the showroom. Today we're going to reinstall our cowl, the front cowl of the bike, which has been painted, polished, sanded, polished. It's ready to go back on the bike. And before I do that, the first step I'm going to do, in fact, this is the last piece of the puzzle. Once we have the cowl back on, the bike's ready to ride. But before we get into mounting the cowl, I'm going to show you how we do that. You can see, I don't know if you can see back here, but there's a lot of dirt, you know, just from road grime and dirt that collects on the parts underneath this cowl. This is a great opportunity to get a damp microfiber cloth or a sponge and clean everything up really good before we put it back together. So let's do that now. Okay, what I want to do is show you kind of a quick, easy way of getting this front cowl back on the bike. One of the things, especially since we just painted this and spent God knows how many hours painting this thing, you don't want to get it scratched. So I've laid a nice towel down underneath the bike. I have the cowl laid face down on the towel. And the reason is, what we're going to do is we're going to pull this cowl up from the bottom and it will slide right through this little area between the rear fender and the front of the bike. If you try to work it in sideways, the cowl is so thick, it's going to get bumped and possibly scratched or scarred up. So the easiest way to actually do this is to bring it from the bottom and then slowly flip it up into position. Before we do that, the first thing we want to do is we're going to hook up the wires that go to the driving lights. So those are all hooked up and ready to go. It's just kind of hanging here right now. I've put the top part of the cowl underneath the black plastic piece here, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in these two little black pop rivets that will hold it in place enough to where we can get it all buttoned up and get the bolts in. I've got the lights hooked up, and now it's time to get the cowl fastened.